Charlie, clearly the games are only worth 3 points. Clearly you only get 3 more if you win tomorrow night, but given the geography of the League One table and where yourselves and Port Vale find yourselves, how significant would it be to be able to get the 3 points from this game?
Yeah, listen, we'd be delighted to get the 3 points and hopefully that would close the gap. But at the moment, we focus on what the game is. The game's 90 minutes against someone that's as close to us. Probably our best performance of the season at home against Port Vale a few weeks ago. They've obviously changed manager since then, and Darren's come in, and they've had a couple of periods where the games that they've had have been tough. But we're going there, and it'll be a tough game, big pitch. So we have to show a reaction from Saturday because first half, for us, wasn't to the level we've been playing at.
We've talked quite a bit about the squad in recent weeks and the options that you've got there and that players have to be ready to step in. The decisive action that you took at the weekend, making multiple changes at half-time, does that show that the players that are sitting on the subs bench are ready to impact games? And is that something you have to take forward regardless of who starts?
Yeah, again, I'm fortunate enough that I've come into a squad that's a good squad. I've got good players in the squad and in the team. I can only pick 11 players, and everybody that's involved in that on a match day is available and ready to come on, and they can be coming on at any moment. So that's why ultimately at half time I felt that we never really engaged in the game in terms of what we wanted. We never got close to what Exeter were doing, and I made the 4 changes to really try and liven up a little bit in second half. That performance, for large spells of it, we were on top, and we definitely should have had more than 1 goal.
How much man management has to happen, not just with those that you take off at half time in a game, but also with those who aren't starting the game and then come in and make an impact? With your players head on from back in the day, if you get the hook at half time, you're not going to be delighted, are you?
No, absolutely not. But ultimately, the results are important, and the performance is. I keep saying it. The performance is what will win us the game. The performance first half on Saturday wasn't to what we expected and what we've been doing in recent weeks. So, as a manager, you make that decision, and again, the lads that come off at half time, they come into your thoughts again for Tuesday night, because ultimately, they're fit and they're ready and they're available, and we'll look to see where we're at in tomorrow. But it's one of these things as a manager you make, and we got a positive reaction from that, and these lads that come off the bench have gave me a thought for tomorrow night.
Just as far as Port Vale are concerned, it's not that long ago that you came into a club that's in the relegation zone and having to sort of, on the job and as quickly as possible, get up to speed and bring about a change. What will it have been like for Darren Moore going into Port Vale in the situation they find themselves in? Because I guess there are parallels. Yeah,
listen, I think Darren's gone into a job where ultimately they started the season very well, at a tough period, and they lose the manager, they change manager. Darren's coming in. Will take a little bit of time, but he's coming at the back end of the season. I've had a few games in now, so he'll be looking to implement the things that he wants. I've seen obviously the last couple of games that he's come in, they've changed formation from when we played them last. So that's something that we've been looking at, and we'll see where we're at tomorrow in terms of where we can affect the opponent, and we can go to Port Vale and make an impact on the game and look to win the match, because that's what we want to do. We want to go and win football matches, and it'll be a tough game, but I believe that the players that we have available and ready, then we can go and we can do that. I think sometimes we talk about new manager bounces and immediately getting a response and things turning around, and maybe in practice it's not that simple, is it? Because it's very rare that you'll go into a job where everything in the garden is rosy and A-OK. Sometimes I think you've seen yourself, it does take some time, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And for us, we took 3 or 4 games to really see what we were all about, and that's why we did it. But for us, it's about now sticking to the performance. We get the performance right, then the results will come. But it took us a bit of time to really get that performance. We had patches, we had periods in games where we were playing well, but we were losing goals, and then all of a sudden it clicks, and that performance first half against Wickham gives you huge belief, for the period after that. And you know, yeah, again, listen, I keep saying it, but these lads have been brilliant since we come in the door. But you know, again, first half Saturday, we fell below that, and we know that if we fall below what we've done in the last few weeks, it becomes more difficult to win a match. So, you know, that's gone now. We look forward to Port Vale, and it's another challenge, but a challenge I think that this group of players are ready for.
You mentioned it's not that long since you played Port Vale, albeit under different management.
Yeah.
And that was a good performance by your team, a very good performance by your team. What did you do particularly well in that game, and how do you go about doing that again?
Well, that's the key in it, putting that performance again on a consistent basis. I felt that we affected their backline from runs from deep, and you know, we really played in behind them at times, and we caused them a lot of problems with the power and the forward running on the day. We scored 3 great goals, and I say if we can get that performance and more, then it'll give us a great platform to really go and affect the game and win the match.
And I don't think it's likely that any manager or any player goes into a game contemplating what happens if you lose it. But if you were to lose this with the positions of the team and the gaps that are there, how much of a blow would it be if that gap got bigger rather than smaller?
Of course, you don't want it to get bigger. We want to try and close the gap. We want to, I keep saying it's about the end of the season. 27th of April is what we're looking at, not the next game, about closing gaps. We win the next football match, and if we do that, and we do that on a regular basis from now to the end of the season, it will give us a great chance of staying up. And you know, that's important, that we just focus on the next game. And Port Vale is another challenge with, you know, a new manager with good players in the squad that can hurt you on the day, and we have to really be at it, and we have to be focused in terms of what we're doing and sticking to our principles of what will get us the best result.
And the changes you made at the weekend, obviously, were all of your choice to change things around. Is there anything hanging over from the weekend in terms of selection-wise that might have an impact on this game?
No, everybody's ready. We have 1 or 2 injury doubts, but apart from that, we'll be as probably the same squad really, in terms of we'll see how the lads come through tomorrow. But yeah, we're nearly all fit and raring to go, and looking forward to the game.